So even though there's a Republican governor's race, doesn't matter. Vote for Bevin, don't vote for Bevin. Matt Bevin's going to win the Republican nomination. There are 3 other positions for the Republicans, though. You got the Agricultural Commissioner, you got the Secretary of State, and you got the Attorney General. When it comes to the Agricultural Commissioner, you got 2 candidates. You got Bill Polyniak of Lexington. Bill Polyniak looks like a superstar, a Hollywood superstar. So Bill Polyniak is running against the incumbent Ryan F. Quarles of Georgetown. Georgetown's got the spirit of Plucky Minuti, the Mingo war chief that died the same moment that George Washington was crossing the Delaware River. So Chief Plucky is haunting Georgetown. Now Ryan F. Quarles was elected 4 years ago because he was in favor of hemp. And 4 years ago, hemp was considered progressive in Kentucky. But he is not in favor of medical marijuana, so watch out, Ryan F. Quarles. You're about to get quarreled. You're about to get foisted upon your own petard. Now, Ryan Francis Quarles, he was born October 20th, 1983. He's 35 years old. He served as the Agricultural Commission since 2016, since he was 32 years old. He defeated Jean Marie Lawson Spann. He's got 4 degrees from UK and a master's degree in education from Harvard. In 1997 and 2001, he was the Kentucky State tractor driving champion. 2 years. The entire state. He's the tractor driving champion. He's like the 9th generation farmer. He's a devout Christian. He loves him some big sky daddy. I just love you, God. I just love you, God, so much. He says that Kentucky is the leading beef state east of the Mississippi. He says that Kentucky is home of 1.1 million head of cattle. So he knows a thing or two, but he doesn't have the overall vision. He's just doing hemp, and the hemp is only being produced in 120 different farms. So only 120 farmers get the benefit of hemp, only 120 farmers, and that's it. Well, you got 5 million Kentuckians. Can you maybe spread the wealth a little bit? This is a commonwealth. How come the wealth is only going to the elite? Why don't you just call it the elite wealth? It's commonwealth because everybody gets to enjoy this paradise, this Garden of Eden. Now, the only thing I know about Ryan Francis Quarles is that he ran on hemp and he won, and that's about it. So he ran a commercial with a white woman that had a big old butt, and right in the beginning he's in the greenhouse, and you could see her big old butt in the opening shot, and then they said something. I don't know what the ad was about, but that's the only thing. He was in favor of hemp, and he ran a commercial with some white woman with a big old booty.
Kentucky's Secretary of State is apologizing this morning after taking some heat for a tweet directed at Democratic Congressman John Yarmuth. Yarmuth tweeted pictures saying he will proudly display his F rating from the NRA on his chest. He encouraged his colleagues to join him until Republicans work on what he describes as common sense gun safety legislation. In response, candidate Carl Nett tweeted, quote, "Move it over just a bit. I was trained center mass," which is a reference about where to aim. Nett joined the U.S. Secret Service after 9/11 and later worked for the CIA. Nett has since deleted the tweet and posted another one saying, quote, "I now join the long list of imperfect human beings with foot and mouth disease. Once again, I apologize to Congressman Yarmuth and his family and ask for their forgiveness."
Okay, so now let's meet Bill Polyniak. It looks like it's a Greek word or a German word or Russian. Bill Polyniak. Okay, Bill Polyniak, he is a badass. So when it comes to Ryan F. Quarles, he's being hit from both the left and the right on medical marijuana. Both of the Democrats are for medical marijuana, and Bill Polyniak is for medical marijuana. So Ryan F. Quarles could just put a stop to all this craziness by coming out in favor of medical marijuana. He hasn't done that. So the 2 Democrats, Robert Conway and Joe Trigg, the 2 Democrat candidates, are in favor of medical marijuana. Plus, Joe Trigg wants to implement hemp and medical marijuana with a quota system, which was similar to the tobacco quota system that Kentucky had 10 years ago. So Joe Trigg takes legal hemp and legal medical marijuana one step further and democratizes it so more small family farms can get in on the action. Bill Polyniak hits Ryan F. Quarles even harder because Bill Polyniak says that Ryan F. Quarles' USDA hemp proposal is just going to help a bunch of foreign corporations. So not even Kentuckians, just a bunch of foreign corporations and investors are going to profit off of Ryan Quarles' USDA hemp proposal. And it doesn't help any of the average Kentuckians whatsoever. So Bill Polyniak believes that Quarles' one-year-old USDA hemp proposal will put Kentucky at the bottom of the heap, and North Carolina is going to outperform Kentucky because of a stupid plan. He even admits that it's 1 year old. So that's pretty unsettling, since Kentucky was one of the first states to legalize hemp. And now Kentucky's going to go, just like it always has for decades, it's going to slide backwards. Bill Polyniak is for other things. He is in favor of hemp and medical marijuana. He's not talking about recreational. He's not talking about decriminalized. He's talking about just medical marijuana. So Bill Polyniak, he is for the Kentucky Proud brand. They tried to brand Kentucky products with the Kentucky Proud brand. So if you're Kentucky Proud, then why wouldn't you get on the Kentucky Proud, put this, your goods on the Kentucky Proud list and get it sold. Help your exports out. Bill Polyniak also points out that farmers have twice the suicide rate than veterans do with PTSD. So he quoted 22 veterans every day kill themselves, but 44 farmers a day are killing themselves. So twice as many farmers are killing themselves than veterans.
My name's Andrew English, and my story starts here in Kentucky. I'm the son of a football coach and a school teacher, and from an early age, I learned the value of teamwork and public service. But it was on the football field where I truly learned that no one can succeed alone, and you only win when you play as a team. It was during law school that I fulfilled a lifelong dream when I was accepted to join the United States Navy. With the Navy, I served in the Persian Gulf on board the USS Iwo Jima, alongside the 24th Marine Expeditionary Unit. I continue to serve today as a Lieutenant Commander in the United States Navy Reserve. After deploying all over the world with the Navy,
Bill Polyniak is the reason why Kentucky has CBD. So he's already been a leader, and he was kind of forced into this situation because his youngest son, Colton, had some kind of epilepsy or some sort of horrible disease. The opioids weren't working, making the kid go crazy, and then almost all organ failure, the kid almost dies. And then they give him CBD, and it worked. So Bill Polyniak was the first Kentuckian to apply for a hemp farm with a focus on CBD in 2014. So if Bill Polyniak wasn't in Kentucky, then medical marijuana, CBD, wouldn't even be legal there.
You mentioned your son, so if you don't mind expounding
So
on
in
that. 2014,
my son at the age 3 was diagnosed with idiopathic generalized epilepsy. The only solution, long story short, the doctors had for him was addictive pharmaceuticals. They gave my son so many pharmaceuticals, and I saw so many changes go through my son that we see many other kids: the rage, cognitive delays, depression, increased epilepsy. To one day he was almost complete, just a few hours away from complete organ failure. So that led me to research, and that led me to learn that CBD, cannabidiol, which is the main ingredient in hemp, is helping people with neurological issues. The thing is, though, it's just not CBD. All these cannabinoids work together to modulate our endocannabinoid system. So we brought that here, and that's how I was speaking of. In 2014, I got a meeting with then Commissioner Jamie Comer, and he blessed me when he gave me the...
So he gets into hemp production, CBD production, because of his son. He wants, his son to get better. And this is important because this is like history is pushing Bill Polyniak into being a good man. Your son about to die, and you're going to be a dick about weed? No, not Bill Polyniak. My son's going to live, and we're going to get CBD. So just like Abraham Lincoln, just like FDR, just like a lot of people, they are forced by history to take a bigger step and a bigger role than what they wanted to. So Polyniak is just like Abraham Lincoln.
5th hemp pilot program, and that was for specifically cannabinoid research, because at that time we were laughed at. On that first year's application, we didn't even have a box to check because nobody was talking about cannabidiol. Now I'll answer your question, Renee. I'm not going to tap dance around it. I'm not a career politician. I'm not using this job to become governor or senator, nothing like that. I believe in the 24,000 studies that have been done on cannabis. That's 3.4 studies a day. That's including Christmas and Easter over the last 20 years. And every single one of those studies shows some kind of positive benefit. Now, I believe with that, we can take this and with focus, create products that were really going to help people. I have a good friend here in Lexington that had nose cancer, had a tumor coming out of his nose, and they had to amputate his whole nose off. There's research that shows if he could have got enough THC hash, that it would have killed that. But
he also wants the Kentucky Department of Agriculture. He says it's a consumer protection agency. I actually saw that Ryan Quarles is talking about this now, but you got the skimmers on the credit card machines. So you go to the gas station, you get a pump, right? The hackers are putting like a little skimmer on the credit card machine. People put it in there, and then they're, getting jacked of thousands of dollars. So Bill Polyniak wants to work hard to make sure that those skimmers, aren't being put on there. Make sure those hackers aren't skimming credit card machines on the gas pumps. And that's apparently a part of the duties of the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, because Ryan Quarles is now talking about how he's going to make sure there's no skimmers on the credit card machines at gas pumps. So Bill Polyniak, he said he's going to audit the Department of Agriculture to make sure every single dime is going to be spent where it's supposed to be spent. Bill Polyniak says that the overregulations at Kentucky farms is causing some farmers to burn their own hemp crops. What kind of world are we living in where we're going to destroy that which we produce? We're not going to put them to good use. There's something could have, waste not, want not. That reminds me of the grapes of wrath, where the farmers were destroying their goods instead of selling it or distributing it. Why are you burning your own hemp crops?
Within the system, we sent him out to California. He was there for a month. Within the system that 30 other states have built, based off of money and novelty, which the commissioner thought CBD was up until recently, he couldn't get what he needed. And so if Kentucky takes this serious, if we look at these 24,000 studies and say, this is a gift from God, this is medicine, and we can produce quality products, that's what we should do, because that's where the market in the future is. Once again, there's 30 states that have cannabis marijuana laws, and I don't believe any of them are right. In Colorado, you can buy recreational marijuana, and at the same time, they burn hemp like Kentucky. West Virginia doesn't because they have 1%. And those intellectual dishonesties where hemp is being burned in Colorado when they have recreational marijuana, and we're burning it here, it's just something is wrong. I think we can all get to something is wrong. And so I'll fix those things. I'll work with our Kentucky legislator. I'll work with our Senate, because those are the people that are ultimately responsible. And we'll promulgate laws that move Kentucky forward. And
are you making the entire neighborhood high when you do that? Since it is the same plant, you stupid fucks. So Bill Polyniak, he says that it's over-regulations. There's just too many damn regulations for Kentucky farms. That's why some of them are burning their own crops. Bill Polyniak says he doesn't run from the farm, but he runs to the farm. He's going to end the pay-to-play regime of Ryan F. Quarles. So again, he's hitting Ryan F. Quarles, not just being just for hemp and not medical marijuana, but he's corrupt. He's saying that if you want to get into Ryan F. Quarles' regime, you just pay him some money somehow, donate to his campaign, and then, you'll get a hemp farm. So he's sick of the pay-to-play regime. He's sick of the Ryan F. Quarles helping all the foreign corporations out and not helping the average family farm in Kentucky. So Bill Polyniak says that Ryan Quarles relies on Democrat lawyers who don't ever get any dirt under their fingernails. What the fuck does a corporate lawyer know about farming? Bill Polyniak is in favor of solar power. He wants to expand Kentucky's agricultural base. Bill Polyniak doesn't want medical marijuana taxed. So there's a little bit about Bill Polyniak.
My love for Kentucky called me home, where my wife Blair and I decided to come back and be close to those football fields where I learned the importance of faith, family, public service, and most importantly, teamwork. Now I want to be your Secretary of State, because I know the potential of Kentucky is unmatched anywhere in the United States. We are Kentucky, and we can be the envy of the country. Help me put my faith in teamwork and public service to work in Frankfort. As Secretary of State, I will fight for economic development opportunities, fight against voter fraud, and advance us all forward as Team Kentucky. I'm Andrew English, and I approve this message.
Let me run with you tonight, I'll take you on the moonlight ride. There's someone I used to see, but she don't give a damn for me. But let me get to the point, let's roll. Another joint and turn the radio loud. I'm too alone to be proud. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how people come, people go. Some grow young, some grow cold. I woke up in between a memory and a dream. So let's get to the point, let's roll. Another joint and head down on the road. There's somewhere I gotta go. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me. My old man was born to rock. He's still trying to beat the clock. Think of me what you will. I got a little space to fill. So let's get to the point, let's roll. Another joint, let's head on down the road. There's somewhere I gotta go. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels. No, you don't know how it feels to be me.